Hey everyone, it is Elsa932 on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. This is episode 7 of Love is Blind Italy. While we get into it, please make sure to remember to hit that like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. Let's get into it because there's a whole lot of drama in this episode. Whole lot of drama, even another woman stepping in. Alessandro and Elisa, their fight has spilled into the next day. They both wish they could go back to being the couple they were in Morocco. So you just want to be a vacation couple? Y'all can't, make it in the real world every day? So it is tense in the apartment, and both are irritated with each other. You can cut the irritation with a knife. We see Davide and Ludovica. They're affectionate. Okay, they like waking up with each other. Ludovica likes kissing him, but hey, this is not the full experience. She is not looking for a best friend or a sleeping partner. You better tell him, Ludovica. You better tell him and not us. She's like, I don't want to just cuddle. I want the whole plate. He still likes her, but is under stress and he's under pressure to perform. He is hoping for the feelings to come back from Morocco. What's all this Morocco feelings? I guess maybe it's not Morocco. It's the fact that y'all just met each other. It hadn't quite sunk in yet. It was the honeymoon phase. Next, we see Yoni and Alessandro. They visit his hometown, which looks absolutely beautiful. I don't know where. I can't remember where in Italy it was. It was a marina. Looked so beautiful. They meet his parents. His parents separated when he was 10 years old, but they have a real friendship. And his parents don't think of marriage as a goal, so he's not sure what to expect from them. Now, they both explain to his parents the process. She tells of her parents, their own worries, and his mom does wish them the best. She's like, hey, this is your life. Dad does tell him, that Yoni seems very, very great and just wants him to be happy. They need to figure out if the enthusiasm of the process is all there is, or see if they can grow together long term. Alessandro says, yeah, his dad thinks it's so fast, but for him, it's so good. And he has no doubts. Well, we knew you didn't have doubts, Alessandro. You already moving her in to your place in your mind. We already knew that. Karen and Nicola do go grocery shopping together. They seem a little bit calmer. They seem a little relaxed. And the last time I saw a couple doing this kind of grocery shopping together, they had a pact. And they ran through the gardens from their wedding and they didn't get married at all. So I don't know about these two. I'm not sure. But he says that living together is bringing them closer. I'm not seeing the closer. I see y'all as having a friendship and y'all are relaxed, but I don't see closer as far as husband and wife and romantic partners. Netflix, am I missing something? Parmi and Jordana, they meet her friends. The friends don't believe that she's getting married. I said, here we go. Parmi decides not to answer her friend about the zodiac sign thing. And Parmi, I'm with you. The fact that you said, I'm going to wait till afterwards, I'm going to wait till later. I don't want you to have any preconceived notions about me because of my sign. And we see that later when her friend says something. Now, her friends were doing rapid fire questions and he couldn't finish a whole sentence and he was getting irritated. He was frustrated and it was a turnoff when people don't let you talk. I understand that, Parmi. They're excited. They're overwhelmed. I would have just stopped talking. He said he was looking for love but didn't believe in it. I said, no, you do not say that to the friends. But he says he is trying to answer each question in order. And the friend is like, oh, he's so stiff. He's not an Aries, huh? Hey, as a member of the Aries delegation, I'm going to need you to take that back. We can be stiff too. We can be very stiff, but not in this setting. We will be stiff enough just to say mum. Okay? We can get that stiff. How about silent stiff? But anyway, they asked, what don't you like about her? Why would I ask a man what he don't like about my friend? He need to keep that to himself. What you don't like about her needs to be kept under lock and key. So Parmi says he noted, Jordana says she noticed that he has a repressed bad temper. And I said, ooh, Jordana, please tell me more. Because I see him get frustrated, but I don't see bad temper. So back home, Jordana says that his behavior was a bit much. Her friends were trying to joke with him. He said he didn't like being interrupted. He was just trying to give clear answers. He does not get it, and he was not being trying to be aggressive or mean. And those are his words he used, aggressive and mean. But she doesn't understand why it bothers him so much. And he says, not understanding him makes him feel really sad. Now, Parmi says she is seeing the bad in the good situation when she really should be seeing the good. Jordana says she also seeing things that she doesn't like and she wants to talk about it. He said, hey, tell me everything since you better. Now, Jordana, I see the suppressed anger you saying. The suppressed bad temper. It says, you better tell me about it. Parmi, it's that little sliver in there that lets me think, nah, I'm going to need to backpedal away from you. He said he gave all of himself and it didn't impress her. And he was giving his time and of himself to her friends. The song they play is It's You Against Me. Now, Giovanni and Georgia, she actually goes to his home in Rome to visit with his friends. They have a dinner party. Okay, it was more friends than I thought. It was at least 6 of them. At least 6 in the room. She says it looks like her grandmother's house and he needs to be noticed by all the stuff. Y'all, it does look like homage to a scene like Dinner in a Movie, the unaliving Clue game. It seemed like that. And she did say it seemed morbid. Now, one of his friends says that, I wonder what lies he told her for her to pick him. I said, ouch, your friend know you, Giovanni. Giovanni, your friend knows you, friend. Could you say more? One friend dresses like the Inquisition and questions them. They ask, why do you want to get married in general? For her, she said, wedding is just an event to create a memory within a relationship. That the relationship, I guess, would be long-standing, good before and good after the wedding. Now, he finds that she is making it no big deal. And he doesn't want someone who makes a wedding no big deal. He thinks that a wedding is a special moment to commemorate a union. It's not just a party. So the friend does ask them about intimacy, getting it on between the sheets. He said he wants to wait to have a deeper connection, otherwise it all goes away. She don't agree. Georgia don't agree. She said she feels like something is not quite right and that his friends agree with her. He wants to wait till after the wedding. I don't think so, because you don't even want her touching your hand. So I call nonsense out of this. Now, the friends think they argue because they're not having any intimate relations. And she feels like she will fit in with his group, but he does not feel the same. The friends like her. I don't think he likes that they like her. Now, the friends have left. They are cleaning up. He brings up how she does not have the same view of marriage. And she brings up, hey, but your friends agree with me about the intimacy. He says he doesn't have a problem with not having sex. He has a problem with her. I said, wait a minute. Now, you have a problem with her. It seems to be a pattern. He does these things and then he starts to fight. But let's go on. He says she's always talking about intimacy. That is 100 out of 10 from, what she said to his friends. And is she a nymphomaniac? I said, no, you did not say that. Oh, no. She goes on to say that he's always trying to find something wrong with her. She asks him, why is he still here? If he sees nothing in her and nothing about her makes him happy, why is he here? He said, he's just trying to get to know her. No, sir, you ain't trying to get to know her. She says he's finding excuses so he can say he tried. She tells them he's not trying. He's being a bastard and wants to look good. I said, daggone it, Georgia. Where was this young lady all this time? She said she's had it and she walks out. She walks out, she takes a taxi and she goes elsewhere. She doesn't believe he wants to get married since his actions speak louder than his words. He wants to turn the situation around on her and sink her. He said he is disappointed to see her leave and she's not showing the values that she mentioned in the past. Giovanni, I don't believe you. I do not believe you that you want to marry this woman. Okay? You don't look devastated. Why would you poke at her? You didn't like the fact that your friends agreed with her, so you tried to poke at everything, but she turned it around on you. Thank you, Georgia. When you were like, oh, marriage isn't just a party because his friends agreed with him there. She's like, yeah, but your friends agreed with me. Something wrong if we in between the sheets. And you didn't like it. So you went full on attack mode. But then Giovanni, remember, you told Jorgana you picked Georgia because you like to fight. You want a warrior. You want a woman to get your blood pumping. Is it pumping now? How about now? I guess you don't like the fighting now. Let's move on. 14 days until the wedding. Parmi and Jorgana. He says he lets off steam by using a lint remover. I need to know what this lint remover is, Parmi. Because when I get angry like I'm about to get to at the end of this episode, I need a lint remover. So she told him she'll get him two new ones, since that, kind of, eases his mind. This feels so real and so good she can't believe this relationship. She doesn't like arguments because her grandfather used to scream a lot. And I understand that. But Parmi, how does a lint remover help you get your frustrations out? I gotta know. I gotta see this lint remover. We see Karen and Nicola. They're walking her dog who has bright pink shoes on. Okay? Bright pink shoes on. He tells her that his family doesn't know about her son, and meeting her son is an important step. Now she says, hey, he needs to grow up and realize that he cannot hide something so important from his family. He said he needs to find the right moment to tell them. Karen is like, oh, there ain't no rush since she's not ready to introduce her son to him. It's fine not meeting his parents right now. I call nonsense with these two. Y'all are playing in my face. I don't think y'all are going to go down this aisle and say, yes, I'm sorry. This ain't happening. Y'all playing with me. If y'all ain't playing with me and y'all actually get married, then this whole show is keeping stuff from us. Parmi goes over to talk to Alessandro A. Alessandro A says he doesn't like the arguments they've been having and they have not been talking after. And now he's more guarded. Now, the show gives us a flashback of these arguments. They show her yelling at him while he's laying on the couch, saying that she's trying hard and he's making her look like a bee. No, Elisa, he can't make you look like one if you don't behave like one. Now, he is suggesting to her in this flashback, to Elisa, that she talk to the others. Now, she prefers to keep arguments and issues to herself. I understand, Elisa, but you gotta speak to somebody and get it all out. You can't lay it out on Alessandro every time. Now, he's telling her, hey, the guys are sharing with me their issues and how they've overcome it. She thinks he just wants to vent about her. It could be true, Elisa, it could be true, but he's also probably seeking wise counsel. They argue about talking to others and that they're judging her. Parmi says, find the sweet moments. Find the sweet moments from back in the day, from back in the pods, from back in Morocco, so they can learn to communicate again. We see Georgia and Giovanni. She slept in a hotel. And she's like, hey, I think we should break up. He calls her while she's packing up and asks if this is petty revenge. No, sir. Petty revenge is reserved for you for later. Y'all put a pin in that. Said he summoned half the city to introduce her to his world, and she does not care. Do we hear the tone of self-importance? That's why I used his words. The translated words were, he summoned half the city. 6 people. Okay? 6 people. She says she will not stay and be treated this way, like something is always wrong with her. There's no point in being there since he's not attracted to her and nothing's going on. He said he wanted her to say it to his face. Why do you care that I don't want you? Sir, why should she say it to your face? You want her to go off on you. That's what you want. Why would you not want your wife as well? Why would you say that to someone trying to be your wife? Now, he wanted them to hug it out, he says, and have a cool breakup moment. No, you wanted a performance, Giovanni. I'm sorry. You wanted a performance. Now, she said she stayed because she cares and told him she did care about him, but he doesn't give an F. I was like, Georgia, I like this part of you. I like this part of you. He said he will go and get his things, but he expected more from her than doing this over the phone. Thank you and goodbye. He hangs up. I was like, Giovanni, that's all you got? You wanted a performance piece. You wanted to be able to prance around, but she's not there. And you wanted her to go off on you. And she didn't give you the satisfaction. He said he did not think he would, she would let him down like this. She, is handing the ring back to the crew and they ain't taking it. She puts it on the counter. She says he will give it to someone that he respects, and she cannot put up with this anymore. So Georgia and Giovanni are exiting the process. The song they play is I'm Fading a Little Dangerous. Okay. Davide and Ludovica, they're heading to Naples to visit with each other's family. We meet her parents. They're non-traditional because they split up when she was young. She has not seen them in a long time. She said there were years where she had no contact with her mom and a few years of not seeing her dad. She mainly lived with her grandparents. But now that her parents are older, they rely on her. And the mom is recovered from cancer. Congratulations, Ludovica's mom, on your recovery. That is excellent. I'm glad that you are healthy and going strong. That's wonderful. I love your little headpiece too. I love your little hat with the net. I know Ludovica asked you if you're wearing a hairnet, but don't let her. But then again, I'm your fashionless friend. I don't know fashion. Ludovica knows tons more than me. But I like that little hat. I like that little hat. Okay. Dad is relaxed, but, says, hey, they seem anxious. Davide says his mom didn't want him to go with the process and leave. And her mom says the same. She didn't want her to leave either. Ludovica says she chose him because she felt like she already knew him. Remember, they both have family in Naples, and of course, it'll be the same kind of culture and climate. Davide said they are still growing and the feelings are strong. The dad says, careful, because an insurance salesman can be very convincing. Remember, that's Davide's profession. He is an insurance salesman. Now, when she asks about marriage, her dad distracts with the food. He's like, oh, did you try this? Oh, look, they made that. She was like, I've had it. I've had it. Stop distracting me, Dad. Now, Dad always said that she needs to live with someone for at least a year before he would even agree to meet with them. I said, Dad, no. Don't have your daughter with someone for a year and you don't even know who they are and how the relationship goes. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with you being all up in their face, but a year is too long. So Dad and Ludovica go off to talk. He said, Davide seems normal and regular, and he will trust her decision. Mom and Davide sit down, and Davide says, it's a good match. Mom agrees. Mom is happy now that they have met Davide. And I find that with most of the parents, because if you have not met the other person, you don't know who your child is being attached to. We're back in Milan. We see Elisa and Alessandro A. They're sitting across from each other. It is tense. Okay? He says she came home later than she said yesterday, and she immediately jumps up to argue. She asked him if he really wanted to meet her dad. And at first he said no, and then he said yes. And she was like, no, that's not what you said. You said yes, and then you said no. She said she's been trying to do things for 2 days to bring them back together. She said he was disgusted when you talked about going to see her dad. He denies it and says because they had a fight. Now, I agree with him here. If you've had a fight and you're going to meet the parents, that ain't a good time. Now, remember, the first fight we saw spilled over into the dinner with the friends. So I wouldn't want him fighting in front of my parents at all. The flashback now to another fight in the apartment, y'all. Apparently he plays PlayStation and wastes time and not doing anything with his life. He is cussing at her, y'all. Disrespectful, foul language. Calls her names. She calls him a fake poser. She thinks he lied to her to get her to behave and then is treating her like crap and threw things at her. Now, when she says threw things at her, I'm looking at the video as to what did he throw? Did his hands throw in her direction? But I think she meant words. But if you left this out, Netflix, I appreciate it. I don't need to see him throwing things at her. And if he did throw things at her, Alessandro, you out of pocket. That is absolutely disgraceful. You don't throw anything at anybody, if that is correct. Now, Alessandro said when they argue, they throw insults and mean stuff at each other to hurt. And it's not how it should be when people are in love. He asks if it's over. He's like, is it over? Because there's no point in going on. She does not answer him while she's looking out the window. She doesn't feel good and she cries and sorry for how it turns out. She tried to do what's best. Okay? She tried and does not believe in him anymore. She does apologize for disrespecting and offending him because, he did that to her as well. I said, okay, the apology started good, but then it swerved off. I wasn't, why did you say because he did that to her? Did that to you? So he says he was sorry and hugs her while she cries. The song they play is The Sins I Should Have Seen Are Staring Back at Me. So someone needs to stop fighting, y'all. Somebody. It takes two to argue. And y'all are trying to attack each other and get one up on each other too much. Just the two fights we saw, and y'all say y'all were fighting more than that, I am concerned. That should have ended a long time ago. A long time ago. So I'm glad y'all have broken up. So Alessandro A and Elisa have left the process. That makes two couples that have left. Okay, we're down to 4. 13 days before the wedding, we see Alessandro and Yoni. Her parents are going to come to the wedding. He's happy. She's happy because she has not seen her father in 2 years. She, though, is still anxious and afraid of her dad's reaction. I understand, Yoni. I do. Davide and Ludovica, they finally made love. She's really happy. And they're going to meet her parents. And I was like, okay. They're going to meet his parents. I'm sorry. So his mom didn't think that he would ever get married. I said, tell us more, Mom. They show her the photos of him as a child. It's a very warm household, meaning there are pictures of the family and different things throughout the years. Now, she feels the love and closeness of his family. One of his friends also come over, Roberta, and that's his best friend and a female version of him. Now, Ludovica does tell the family that she don't know how to cook. Okay? She gonna have to take lessons from his mama. Now, Davide wants to have his dad cook for his wedding. And I find it refreshing in cultures where the men do cook so very well. I find it quite refreshing. It's a little bit different. But when the whole family decides, hey, dad's cooking is better than mom's, dad is an exceptional cook. Now, Ludovica does invite his mom to go wedding dress shopping with her. Mom does have to check her schedule. And I saw, Ludovica, your face kind of, got sad. I saw that. You were hoping she would come. But again, it's only in a few days, weeks. This is something people were not prepared for. So she does have to check her work schedule. I'm sure she would have wanted to be there unless she says something different. They tell him the wedding is in 2 weeks. Dad says right away he can't make it. I was like, Dad, come on now. You didn't even check your schedule. You didn't even be like Mom and check your schedule. Dad said it's a big decision and they have not known each other for a long time. Now, we do find out that Davide's parents have been married for 40 years plus 8 years of an engagement. Mama, 8 years, okay? So Ludovica does get emotional and she cries, and the ladies do hug her. When she gets emotional, she's like, this is such a great, loving family. Everybody's so together, and she really loves this. Now, he is with his dad in the kitchen, and his dad tells him, go check on her. It seems like she's crying. Now, she does explain to him that it's the pictures, the talk of love, all of this got her emotional, and he does kiss and comfort her. She is happy that they have a big, beautiful family. When his mom came back to check on her and hugged her, and the mom said, hey, it's a short time. Maybe it'll work out because people have fallen in love quickly, married, and been together forever as well. We see Georgia and Giovanni. She is packing up. She is disappointed and angry and feels fooled by him. She promised not to allow anyone to treat her this way ever again. She felt that she gave it her all and she went beyond her fears. She cries and she walks out the interview saying, hey, I'm done. We're done here. It's over. Now, meanwhile, while she's telling us this, they are clipping in that we see Giovanni is in Milan. He is dressed to the nines. He's at a restaurant and he is meeting with Frederica, 38 years old, an account executive who was also in the pods. We get a little glimpse into their pod date where they shared that they had the same set of values. Okay. Giovanni was saying that to quite a few people. But he said he held back because of the age difference. What age difference, Giovanni? Y'all tell me in Italy, is this age difference a big deal? Because I don't see it. He's 36. She's 38. What the heck? Is that a big age difference just because she's 2 years older than him? But he said, Georgia really hurt him. You seem real broken up. Broken up enough to have a date with another woman. Frederica tells us that he was talking to her when he got out the pods. And she has told no one. So that's why he didn't want to move in right away. Is that why? He got his phone back and he was able to talk to her. But we find out more as to when he started contacting her. But he says he wanted to see Frederica in person. And they're holding hands, y'all, over wine and smiling at each other. And he tells her, let's run away together. Giovanni, I am pissed off. This is unbecoming. I don't even know how many days between you broken up. The show ain't even done yet. So it can't even be that many days. It ain't even the 10 days before the wedding. Dude, this is foul. This is foul. If you were worried about how you looked before, this makes you look like a supervillain. This makes you look terrible. This tells us exactly who you are, and it's not flattering. Y'all, that's the end of the episode. Please join me on the next one as it becomes available. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.